Kodiak Electric Association serves around 6,200 people in the city of Kodiak and nearby Port Lions. The island, 250 miles south of Anchorage, generates its own electricity, all by renewable energy.
We have an island, we're living on an island, we're an island and electric grid, and what that really means is we're not connected to anybody else. We're not connected to Homer or the rail belt or anything like that. And the way electricity works is every second our customer, every almost millisecond our customers need power, our members need power. We have to match that exactly. And if we get out of whack, that's really bad for the system. If we're making more or less power than they need, that's a problem. Well, wind turbines magnify that problem. Okay, so in order for us to get all these wind turbines working on our electric grid, we can't really tell them what kind of power to make. They make the power according to the wind. So that adds extra variability to our system. We had to find a way to balance that variability to make sure we could still match what our customers need from a power standpoint. So that's where batteries and flywheels have come in. They came in because they can instantly make a whole lot of power really quickly for short periods of time to help that balance out. The main driver for our balance is that hydro plant, but it takes a little bit of time to kind of keep the balance. So we needed something quick and fast acting to do that. And that's where flywheels and batteries come in, working together, balancing their strengths and weaknesses together to help the hydro plant keep that balance and keeps the lights on all the way through the process. Our peak load is about 28 megawatts, average load is about 18 megawatts, and we make power, basically we're just over 99% renewable between this Pillar Mountain Wind Project and our Terra Lake Hydroelectric Project, which is about 25 miles that way. Makes all of our power, and we're fully renewable and have been for several years now.
I remember when all the wind turbines went up, and I was a little skeptical. I thought, oh, they're going to ruin our view. And I think it's probably now one of the most beautiful parts of our view.
We are on top of Pillar Mountain. Pillar Mountain is right behind the main city of Kodiak, and what you see behind me is a few of the wind turbines for the Pillar Mountain Wind Project. We've got a total of 6 turbines, 1.5 megawatt each, makes 9 megawatts of power when it's all fully 100% going. And that provides, overall on an annual basis, about 20% of the energy needs in Kodiak. A lot of people have asked, why did we go down this path? Why did we go down this path to try to get 100% renewable? Several different reasons for that. The idea really started in the early 2000s. What kind of caused the problem was the high variability of diesel prices. So, 1 month or 1 year, diesel prices would be very high. That would drive our power price very high because we burned a lot of diesel back in those days. The next year or the next month, diesel prices would go back down with the economy. And that was really hard for our local economy to deal with. The businesses, fish processors, hospitals, schools, how do we budget, how do we plan for this? And hearing our members, kind of making us and allowing us to work in different directions. How can we solve this problem? At the same time, taking a look, from a global perspective, act locally, deal with global issues type thing. So, renewable would be good from that standpoint. And being a cooperative, we're owned by our membership, and there's a good chunk of our membership that really appreciates that perspective.
Perfect. We're doing things on our own right here on this island. It's just another part of that with the dairy, and I feel like, oh, we're partners. We get to work together on that. Like I said, it seems silly, but now you look at that and you think that makes us unique and really a great part about living here.
Flywheels here, they have 2 different main jobs for us. We have the balancing for our system, working with the batteries. They also work with a very large electric crane, a shipping crane that's the biggest in the state here. And what that does is it can pull about 2 megawatts of power pretty much instantaneously as it lifts cargo up. Now 2 megawatts in lower 48 is nothing, but 2 megawatts on our system, if we're on average in 17, 18 megawatts, that's over 10% instantaneously. And the crane is also really efficient, so when it lowers load, it's regenerative, so it actually adds power back to our system and it captures that wasted energy. That up and down brings a lot of variability to our system. So flywheels really kind of come to play to help balance that. Working with the customer, Matson Lines, and also the city of Kodiak, who owns the pier here, they really wanted to make this happen. We really wanted to make it happen, so we all worked together, and we actually formed a 3-way partnership to install the flywheels to allow this electric crane to operate and let them move away from an antiquated diesel system they had. So when the crane is on, the flywheels kind of become almost a microgrid with the crane, and they balance all that power out. So the flywheel reacts to whatever the crane needs. They're directly connected together via fiber optic cable. So as the crane picks up the load, it needs a certain amount of power. The flywheels deliver that power instantly, and we don't really see much of the effect on the system at all through the whole process. As an electric provider here on the island and as a cooperative, seeing people move to electric solutions. So now we have a much larger shipping crane, a much more efficient shipping crane, and it's electric. So as the electric company, that's great from a sales perspective, but it's also great from a renewability perspective, because instead of using diesel power, they're using hydro and wind power to make all this work, and we just have the flywheel to kind of bridge the two together. So it's really been a kind of a trifecta of wins. We've been able to keep our prices constant, we've been able to keep our prices low, and we've been able also to save a lot of emissions over time as well.
You know, we're producing our own energy here, and it becomes something that you really take pride in, that you're excited about, that becomes something that you can say, oh, well, in Kodiak, we can produce our own energy. And so then you connect it even in with the goat dairy. Here it's something that we're doing right here. It doesn't have to go off the island. We don't have to depend on something else. It's a renewable source. And here we're milking our goats and doing all those things. So I kind of see it as a partnership, that we're working together on a few of those things. So. Anybody else?